G'day guys, Robbo here again. Welcome to tonight's episode of Let's Chat Live. We are doing a disability special. Tonight we're going to give you guys the chance to ask me anything you want about my disability. I'm happy to answer anything. I'm hoping to be joined by some guests who are also disabled. We haven't got any sign of Mrs. Austin yet. So I'm hoping she hasn't slept through her alarm. But as you can see, I've got one of my support workers here with me tonight. This is Hayley.
Hey, how you going?
And yeah, so thought might start off by having a chat with Hayley and discuss like the whole support worker side of things. Yeah, just and go from there. So as you guys know, I'm here by myself at the moment, and I'm having support workers stay with me overnight this time. The last time my parents went away, they just went away for 3 days, so I didn't get anyone to stay over. But with my parents being away for almost 2 weeks this time, I decided it was better to have support workers at night. And so yeah, Hayley's this is the third night, I think.
Yeah.
Third night, yeah. Third night out of all the nights that Hayley's stayed. And Hayley also took me to the fun run that I did. And it was a 2-hour drive from here. And yeah, it was a good day out. And then we went to live music after that and saw the Rock Addicts, and that was a great night. And my wounds that I showed you the other day, they're bit scabby now. I'll try and I don't know which way to face it because the camera plays tricks on you. And I just got a message. I'm just going to check who it is. Okay, yeah. So one of the guests that I got coming on will be here shortly. She just messaged me. My friend Allison, who lives about, I don't know, I think about a 90-minute drive away. She's going to join us on screen to discuss this topic, disability, because she's also disabled herself. She's actually got spinal bifida like I do. We've got Paul Stiles in the chat. G'day, Paul. How are you, mate? Good to see you. Paul Stiles is coming to us from South Australia.
Oh, right. Hey, Paul. How you going?
And Paul is what is it you've got again, Paul? I think you said is it autism or Asperger's or something like that? I can't remember. And I know it's one of those. But, yeah. So if you've got any questions about disability, my disability or disability in general, Paul, we can have a chat about it. Yeah, I'm just waiting on Allison to turn up. She said that she's just firing up her laptop, so she shouldn't be too long. And I'll tell you guys some things about mine and Allison's friendship. I know you will definitely be interested in one of the stories I've got for you. Paul's got Asperger's syndrome.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm trying to drag this out as much as I can till Allison gets here.
No, you're doing a great job.
Yeah. But, we've got this up here tells you how many people are in.
Okay,
so
cool.
2 people in at the moment.
Yeah, beautiful.
I think the other person is the Bill. I believe that's who it is. But
cool.
Whoever's here, whoever else is here, let us know who's here. Because it doesn't always tell me the right number.
Okay.
But yeah. So I'll tell you guys a bit more about me that I may have already mentioned this to you before, but I'll give you a bit more detail. Yeah, I can, Paul. I do get help sometimes. It just depends on what kind of a day I'm having. He's just asked if I can shower myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so most of the time I do. But if I'm having a bad day where my body's sore and I'm struggling to move, then I might get some help. So yeah.
It's hard to stand and it's wet and you
Yeah.
support yourself and wash yourself and
Yeah,
do it all at the same time. It's difficult.
that's it. And I do have a lot of handrails in my bathroom, so that when I'm not standing up, I can hang on to the handrails and move around.
Use one hand. And do you have a chair?
Yeah, I've got a shower chair too. Yeah,
that also helps.
Yeah, so I sit down while I'm in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So most of the time, I can look after my own showering. And occasionally, I'll get help. But yeah, when one thing I can tell you as well, Paul, is that I do get help with toileting. The support workers or even my parents have helped with different things that I've needed help with toileting. Because I don't know if I've told you guys, but I've only got limited bend in my knees, so it can be hard for me to reach down and reach my feet to take my shoes off, and then to get my pants off when they're at my feet. So I've had help to do that before by my parents and support workers. Yeah, the handrails definitely help, especially when you're in a bathroom and you've got a wet floor.
Your feet are wet.
You don't want to. Don't want
to have a fall.
Don't want to have a floor, so it's good to have plenty of rails around and my walking frame. So yeah, I've always got a tight grip on the walking frame or the handrails. Yeah,
because they can even be slippery. So
yeah.
No, you don't want to go down.
Yeah, and I had one.
Have you had many falls?
I had one bad fall in the shower once, and it was my own fault though, because I left the soap on my shower chair and made the shower chair slippery, and I slipped straight off. Yeah, and I don't know how I did it, but I ended up with one leg out of the shower and the other leg in the shower, so I had to try and twist myself around
to get in without being able to bend your knees and stuff. To get back in.
Don't know how I managed that.
Even to just get back up onto the chair.
That was.
You hurt your back, hurt your tailbone.
Yeah, went down pretty hard. Yeah.
Go on an elbow or something. Yeah. It's gonna. Yeah, set you back a bit.
Just remember, I was sitting on the ground all of a sudden, and I've just.
What just happened?
Like, ow. Yeah. So and I think that might have been back in my drinking days too.
Well, there might have been a little bit of
So it was a fair while ago that happened. I'm pretty sure that was back in my drinking days.
Well, you learned some hard lessons. And
having a slippery seat and too many drinks.
Not a good combination.
No, it wasn't.
No.
So yeah. Got any more questions for me, Paul? I'm happy to answer anything, mate. And we've got 3 people in here now. Let me know who else is here. Don't be shy. Get involved in the chat. Ask me anything. You can ask Hayley some stuff as well if you want. You can ask her about the whole support worker job. Got any interesting stories about support working?
Oh no! I love it. It's great. It's great to be able to just. I mean, you really are very self-sufficient, and you can sort of really help yourself. But sometimes it is just communicate or just companionship and stuff like that. Even with your toileting needs, you're still very sort of able to sort of sort yourself out, which
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah,
So,
just need minimal help.
yeah, which is fantastic. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Obviously over time you sort of build yourself up and learn what works for you, and this works great and this works better. But
Yeah.
no, it's
I definitely needed help after the fun run when I was sore.
Muscles start seizing up, and
I could barely move.
after 10Ks, I don't think much of it is very functional.
Yeah. Paul's just asked, he said, I guess you need help to get in and out of cars. Well, yeah, I get myself in and out of the car, but then whoever I'm with will put my wheelchair in the car.
But no, he's pretty good. Yeah, just opening I'll open the door for him. He'll sort of kind of stand up, transition, swivel around, put his bum in, and so no, he's pretty good in the car.
Yeah,
I don't need to do much, and then
you just put the chair away.
Take the chair, put it in the boot, and away we go. And then vice versa, bring the chair back to the door.
Yep.
Gets himself out, and off we go again. So no, it's pretty easy getting into the car.
Yep.
So,
and I just thought I'd let you guys know as well, depending on how this live stream goes, we may only do a 1 hour special. We'll see how it goes. But I like to think that I'm fairly independent.
Oh, absolutely. No, you are very much well impressed. So I've sort of got to, as a support worker, as much as I want to help you, and I want to I don't want to take your independence away from you, but I want you to feel as though you can ask me, or like I can't do, can you help me, or step in. But I sort of offer my help, but I don't want to undermine you, and I don't want to feel as though, she thinks I can't do it, which is it's a fine line. You sort of want to help, but I don't want to take away your independence. You're like, no, cool, I've got it. Or
that's it.
Whether it's like even pushing your chair, like if I could see whether you're on grass or gravel or something and you are struggling, but no, if you've got it, cool, you've got it. But I'm there if you need a hand or just a little bit of extra help, or
that's it.
then I can jump in. So
and I know that a lot of people that are watching. Oh, hang on, Paul's got a question. He says, Hayley, do you find this type of work rewarding, as in you develop a connection with your client?
Oh, absolutely. It is. It's really good. Like, I'm only sort of new to helping Rob out, and it's great. It's great to get to know other people's situations and their disabilities, and you're constantly learning how different people cope. You get different mindsets and different forms of independence. Some people are like, no, they don't want to do anything. They're quite cool just to chill, where Rob's like a go-getter. He's doing races. He's making stuff on his own. He's feeding himself. He's showering himself, and which is great. It's really good to see that side. But then obviously on the other side, when someone else just needs a little bit more encouragement, then you're there to encourage them and let them know they can do it. And it's good to do it on their own, and it's good to I really do love what I do. Just the gratitude sort of from both sides. I mean, it's even like I don't really do much here, but just a bit of entertainment for Rob or someone else to chat to, or just to know that someone else is in the house. I mean, 90% nothing's going to go wrong, but just in case. So, no, it is very rewarding. I love it. It's fantastic. So.
And Allison's here, so I'm going to bring her up. Hello, Allison. Are you there? Can you hear me, Allison? I don't know if she can hear me. Can you hear me all right, Allison?
Can you talk to me?
I don't think she can hear me.
Maybe her mic is.
Is she muted, is she? Okay. I don't know if I can.
Maybe there's 3 dots on her screen.
Yeah.
No, she's...
No, says that she's no.
Oh, maybe she...
I don't know what's going on. I'm going to put her backstage just until we...
Could be her signal.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm just going to let her know that... Oops. Yeah, I'll just let her know. Yeah, hopefully she'll get that sorted and come back. So, oh yeah, so I know a lot of you are looking forward to tomorrow's episode. We're doing an episode about sex tomorrow.
Okay, that'll be interesting. That should be fun.
Yeah, so we usually number the episodes, and tomorrow's episode is number 69. So
okay, that's quite ironic. So, yeah, so that'll be good fun.
Few people are really looking forward to it.
Yeah,
and I actually thought I'd bring this bit of it up tonight, just because we're talking about disability tonight.
Yeah.
But just wanted to let everyone know that with the company Higher Up that provides the support workers for me, they pretty much help with just about anything that you want help with. But one thing they definitely won't help with is sexual stuff. And so I made a joke with a support worker once. I said, I'm going to make my own support worker business, and instead of calling it Higher Up, I'm going to call it Get It Up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so, you never know. There might be a platform for it. But
yeah. So
did she not find that?
No, she found
okay.
that funny.
Yeah. All right, that's good, because you just never know if she didn't find it very funny. Or...
Yeah, no, she definitely found it funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
Oh no, I don't know if I'm going to read out that whole comment, Paul. Okay, I will read out that comment, but don't say anything else like that, Paul. He said, "Yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I have the hand cream ready."
Oh, Paul. Well.
Oh, he said, "I'm kidding about the hand cream."
Oh, that's for afterwards, Paul.
Yeah. All right. I think Allison might be all right now, so we'll bring her up again. Hello, Allison.
Hey. Sorry about that. My laptop internet's not working, so so I'm on my phone.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Hi, Allison.
Hi.
How are you
going? This is Hayley, Allison. This is my support worker for the night. Yeah, we're doing a disability special tonight, so I've also actually sent out an invite to Mick, and I'm hoping Mick will come in as well.
Oh yeah, hopefully he'll hop in.
Yeah. So yeah, just I was just mentioning something a bit funny about Higher Up. I was just talking about what services Higher Up provides, and I made a joke with one of my support workers once about Higher Up, and like, because Higher Up will pretty much help you with everything, except for sexual stuff. So I made a joke with one of my support workers once, saying that I was going to make up my own support worker service, and instead of calling it Higher Up, I was going to call it Get It Up.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's okay then.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Everyone's got different needs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I don't know, like it's one thing I don't know, like if there's any sort of service like that for disabled people. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Got no idea.
Do you have to be quite sort of tricky with talking about it openly on YouTube or something like that? Would they kick you off? Are you?
Oh no.
Okay, so it's quite open.
Yeah.
You're allowed to
Yeah,
say things, or
you can't go too full on with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to be a bit careful.
Yeah, keep it clean and keep it relatively.
So tomorrow night's episode is
mature
going to
and
be
adults.
tomorrow night's episode is going to be really hard to control. But yeah,
I can't answer that one. I have no idea.
tomorrow night's episode is going to be a
Yeah.
full episode dedicated to talking about sex. So we're going to be very careful what we talk about on here tomorrow night. Yeah, but so we'll see how we go. But I hope that. Can you still hear me, Allison? Camera's just dropped out. Well, hopefully it'll come back in a sec. Oh no, she just dropped out.
Maybe
hopefully she'll be back.
Yeah.
So I hope she didn't hate the topic. But yeah. Yeah, I agree, Paul. Yeah. So there's a girl named Lacey that's supposed to come on tomorrow.
Okay.
Paul wants to hear her stories tomorrow. So.
Oh, okay. Has Lacey got some interesting stories?
Yeah. Yeah, Allison's back.
Sorry, got booted again.
Yeah, sorry, no, I thought you ran away because of what we were talking about.
No, just my crappy internet.
No worries. Hey, Samantha.
Yeah.
It's Samantha in the house. Samantha's coming to us from Brisbane.
Hi, Samantha.
Samantha, tonight we're doing a disability special talking about all things disability. Samantha's actually a nurse.
Oh, okay.
And,
that's cool.
Yeah, so
I'm sure she would have.
She might be able to have some input on the conversation. And yeah, so we're doing basically a question and answer type thing tonight, and you can ask any questions, and yeah, I'll answer pretty much anything. We're not too far apart in age, are we, Allison?
No, you're. Well, I'm 35 on Thursday, so.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm 42 in just under 2 months. So yeah, not too far apart.
You doing much for your birthday, Allison?
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing yet.
Make a plan, go out.
Yeah, probably go out for dinner and.
Oh, good.
Yeah, something.
It's your birthday, you've got to celebrate.
Is it during the week or on a weekend?
Thursday.
Oh, it's on Thursday. Oh.
Yeah.
Go see some live music on Friday. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Make it a birthday couple of days.
Yeah. Yeah. Samantha's asking where Mrs. Austin is. We don't know, actually, Samantha. I think she slept through her alarm. Samantha's just saying, I can't stay on too long. I'm on a break. I'll come back and check in once my shift finishes. No worries, Samantha. Thanks for popping in. We'll be here. Oh, I'm going to do at least an hour. So, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah. So me and for everyone watching, me and Allison actually have the same disability, spina bifida. But there are some differences. And I don't know how much you want to talk about Allison, but so you don't have to say anything that you don't want to say, Allison. You can talk about the parts that you want to talk about. Don't talk about the parts that you don't want to talk about. But
yeah.
Yeah. But do you still using walking aids or just the chair now?
I do still use them, yeah. Not as often as I used to, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah. Just around like short distances, yeah.
Yeah. Same with me, really. I only use a walking frame around the house. And that's about it, really. And then it's like I've got an external door to my bedroom, and my wheelchair's parked straight outside. So
Yeah.
as soon as I step out, I'm straight in the wheelchair, really. Yeah. So so we're similar in that way. We're minimal walking. But have you always used the walking aids, Allison, or?
Maybe she got a delay.
I think there's a bit of a delay. Yeah.
Mm.
Can you hear me? I think she's having trouble hearing again. No, I think she dropped out. No, when she comes back, I'll ask her the question again. Yeah, no, it's no good. But yeah, no. Hopefully, Mrs. Austin will show up because she did want to be part of this because she's got autism and Tourette's, so she wanted to be part of this. And she did tell me a few hours ago that she would see me tonight. So,
yeah, but I think she might still be sleeping.
Yeah, I think she is. Yeah. Well, it is like almost 1:30 in the morning there. So,
yeah,
yeah.
there are times, very difficult time to get up in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't blame her for sleeping through an alarm and staying in bed.
In a blizzarding snow.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyone got any other questions? What else can I tell you? So yeah, I didn't learn how to walk until I was almost 4 years old, and the doctors thought I'd never walk. And then once I started walking, I was going all right for a couple of years, and then I started kindergarten at the local public school, and started noticing a bit of a bend in my legs, so I was crouching down a little bit, and yeah, and as I went through school, the bend got worse as I got older, until I think it was, trying to think what year, halfway through year 9, I think it was. My legs were that bent that I could barely stand up anymore. So the doctors said to me that the best thing for me was to take the strain off my knees. So they said, "Oh, let's straighten out your legs for you."
Did you have trouble with your knees?
Yeah.
Were your knees?
Yeah, they definitely hurt.
Yeah.
So
not good.
No, because they were bent all the time. They were hurting. Yeah. So the doctors said, "Let's straighten out your legs," and so they straightened them out as much as they could on a hospital bed, and then wrapped them in plaster, and I had them done so many weeks each leg. I think 4 weeks on my left leg, and then 6 weeks on my right leg, because my left leg wasn't as bad, and so they didn't think it needed as many weeks. And then came out of the plasters and went from not being able to straighten my legs to not being able to bend them.
Yeah, that's tricky, hey?
Yeah.
So is it your hamstrings, or what is not allowing you to bend them?
Yeah, something
The nerves
something
or
in
something.
here,
Yeah.
something in the knee.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah,
like when I bend back, it gets tight. Gets really tight
that's
there.
tight on like your hamstring.
I know you guys can't see what I'm doing right now, but like I get really tight in the top of my knee.
Like a quad muscle kind of thing.
Yeah, and I can feel like tightness in the back of my knee as well. Yeah. So yeah,
So from when you had the plasters and then now you can't really bend your knees, is that when you were sort of started using the chair more?
Yeah. So I didn't actually get a wheelchair until I had the plasters done.
Okay.
Actually, I got a mountain bike for my 15th birthday.
Oh.
And then 2 months later, I got a wheelchair.
Wow, that's crazy.
So that was pretty full
on. Very big mind shift, hey, to be able to accept that.
But I've always tried to look at things in the best positive way.
That's good. That's hard. That's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, Roger. G'day, Roger. How are you, man? Good to see you. yeah, so Roger's coming to us from Cootamundra.
Oh wow! Hi Roger, how you going?
Yeah, and so I tell people like now that because I used to ride a bike and now I use a chair, I say to people that it's a different shaped bike.
It's a different form of wheels.
Yeah.
You still get around.
I'm still using my limbs, but the other ones.
Yeah, the legs not so much. A whole lot on the arms.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm still working myself as hard as I did on Saturday. And g'day, Chris. Chris and Roger, we're doing a disability special. So if you've got any questions, ask me anything you want and I'll answer it. What's here? Oh yeah, Roger did some sparring today. So I'm guessing that's boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, Allison's back. Hello again. Can you hear me? Oh no.
Hopefully this will work better.
There we go. Hi, Allison.
You can hear me all right? Are you hearing okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool.
Great.
I don't know.
So when you cut out, I was asking you the question
Okay.
about I think there might be a delay, but we'll see how we go. I was asking you the question about have you always used walking aids?
Yeah. Probably up until about 3 years ago, I was mainly using the crutches.
Right.
I do sort of use wheelchair more now, but yeah.
Was there ever a time where you didn't have to use any aids, like as a child or much younger, or you've always had to have a little bit of support? She's frozen.
There's definitely a delay.
Yeah, I'll show you.
We seem to have a delay, Allison. I think Allison's trying to sort out the issue. Yeah, it is a decent delay. Yeah. We'll see how we go. But so I've used a wheelchair. I actually started on crutches. When I was 15, and a wheelchair. But then I broke my left leg when I was 20. Just walking down the driveway, hanging onto my grandfather's arm.
Wow.
Tripped over a rock and fell over.
Oh man.
And then ever since then, I've had to have the extra support of a walking frame.
Yeah.
So
a broken leg's going to set you back.
Yeah, and it's snapped right up the top too. So I've actually got a metal rod in there now holding my legs together. And,
that's the strongest part of your body.
Yeah. Can you hear us yet, Allison?
Yeah.
Oh, you can.
My connection's really bad tonight. I don't know what's going on.
Oh no. Yeah. No, we thought you had a delay there for a bit. We weren't sure.
Yeah, there was a bit of a lag, but
yeah.
You're back on for who knows? Yeah. Hopefully it lasts long.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed it'll stay on now.
Yeah. So another part of my spina bifida is I've also got a thing called hydrocephalus, which means I've got to have a shunt connected to my brain. You don't have that, do you, Allison?
No, I got lucky with that. Yeah.
Yeah, very lucky. My shunt broke when I was 14, and it was the worst headache you could imagine.
Wow, how'd it break?
I don't know.
Just
I think it was just what it was made of just
deteriorated.
yeah, just made it break. Yeah.
When did you have that shunt put in?
When I was born.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've had it up until 14, and then
it broke, and I got severe headaches.
Wow.
And I'll tell you a funny story. Actually, I didn't get on with my geography teacher in high school, and I was going through these headaches at high school, and he was telling me to concentrate, and I had a go at him. I said, "Mate, I've got a bad headache. You know, like the most severe headache. I can't concentrate on what I'm doing." And eventually, I thought that the headaches were too much, and I needed to go get them checked. So I went and got a MRI done to check my check my head and my chest, because it goes from my head to my stomach. And they said it's snapped.
Oh,
and
pretty good excuse not to concentrate.
Yeah, so I couldn't concentrate in school. So I had a few weeks off school because of the thing snapped, and it took me a bit to get into the hospital to get it repaired too.
Wow.
So I was struggling for quite some time with it, and then went back to school after I recovered from my surgery, which was a few weeks after, and went into my geography class, and the first thing that my teacher did when I went in was that they apologised.
Yeah, I think so.
So, and I had never gotten on with my geography teacher, so I think that was a bit hard for him to do.
You should apologise.
Yeah. So, that was.
And you haven't had a problem since?
No, I haven't had any more breaks.
Wow.
Yeah, no dramas. But I get scared every time I get a headache. And,
just in case, you never know. Does it have a time frame? Like, does it have to be replaced? Do you have checkups regularly?
They said it could happen again, but I've just got to be careful what I do with my head, really, and don't move my head too quickly or whatever.
Is it like a nerve thing, or is it a blood flow, or is it what is the shunt doing?
It's basically like you got when. Your brain's got two valves that come off it to drain the fluid through your whole body.
Yeah.
And my valves didn't develop properly.
Okay.
So the tube is the valve.
Open the valves, or open, to be able to.
Yeah, they put a tube in as the valve.
Okay.
And so it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, and you don't have that, Allison. That's pretty lucky, hey?
No, I've been lucky with that.
Another
with that. Yeah.
complexity.
Yeah. And now I'm going to get a bit more personal on this one, Allison, and you don't have to respond to this one if you don't want to. So, when when it comes to toileting, I have to use a catheter to urinate. I did have to use one. I've actually had problems with it in the last few years, ever since I had my left kidney taken out.
Oh, right.
And so I haven't actually used one for the last few years because I've been having dramas with them. And you can have two different types, where you've got one that's always inside, draining it out.
A catheter that's always inside.
Yeah.
And
they strap a bag to your leg, and then you just empty the bag when it's full. Or you do what's called self-catheterizing, which is where you put it in yourself, and then you pee, and then you take it out again when you're done.
Every time? How many times a day would you have to do that?
I used to have to do it like 5-6 times a day.
Yeah, you're going every time.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. So I had to use them all the time. So I always self-catheterized. So I was always putting it in, peeing, and then taking it out again. That was just something I had to do. But I've been having issues with it ever since I had my left kidney taken out. So I haven't actually used a catheter since then. They put one in where they just after my kidney was taken out, they actually put one in that stayed in.
The permanent one.
Yeah, the permanent one, and like I had bags attached to me and all sorts of stuff going on, and that I had that for quite some time. And
Okay, and is that any better or?
Well, it would like I think that's actually what's caused the problem of not being able to self-catheterize now, because I had that in for so long.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, I think that's what's happened. So, so these days I just push it out.
Okay, so you're actually able to go on your own.
And I've had nurses come and test to make sure that when I'm pushing it out that I'm emptying out properly, and it's working properly. So,
is that hard? Is it like painful? Does it burn? Is it tricky? Is it? It's
an effort to make sure I've got enough out.
To make sure you've totally emptied, because that's another problem.
Yeah, and so I've got to make sure that I always empty out enough, and I've got no control over my bladder, so I also wear incontinence pads all the time, and I actually have two different types. I have a slip-in one that I wear around home, and then I also have an underpant type that I wear when I go out, and they seem to last longer, so I like to wear them ones when I go out, so that I'm not going to the toilet every 5 minutes to take the change, you know. So and plus, whilst I'm doing these long live streams, I wear the underpant type as well, so I don't have to go to the toilet during the live stream. And because I'm usually on here for like 4 hours doing these live streams, but we're not doing 4 hours tonight, I don't think.
4 hours?
Yeah, usually it's 4 hours. Yeah. So
well,
I usually have a few other people up here on screen, and we usually have plenty of things to talk about. So we can usually make the 4 hours last, but I don't think I'll be doing 4 hours tonight. Yeah. And my followers, they do already know about my bowel issue, so I have to take medication to be able to empty my bowel, and I only do that once a week. So I take medication with my breakfast, and then by mid-afternoon up until bedtime, really, I'm staying near the toilet. You know, and I like my bedroom. I'm in my bedroom now, and my toilet is literally just across the hall. And you know,
convenience of it.
Yeah. So I like throughout the day, I'll start off with feeling a bit sick and a bit yuck, and then I get like an uncomfortable feeling in my body, and like the medication starting to take effect in my body, and then that uncomfortable feeling will then turn into pain, and then I can usually tell when the pain's got to the point where it's telling me I need to go to the bathroom, and I can usually tell from the pain what kind of pain it is that's telling me I need to go to the bathroom. So, and it's different every week as well. Some weeks I'll have to almost run to the bathroom, and then sometimes I can get in there like with plenty of time to spare. So
are you quite solid, or is it quite loose when you go?
It's different every week. Depends what I eat.
Okay. Yeah. So sometimes you might sort of struggle, or it's quite hard to get out, and other times it's just.
Yeah, and some weeks the pain isn't that bad, and then other weeks the pain, I feel like I'm going to die. You know. So.
Do you know if there's certain foods that make it worse, or have you sort of been able to pinpoint?
No, I haven't really been able to work that out.
All right, this is, if I have this, I know it's going to.
Yeah. Oh, I think dairy doesn't help.
Dairy doesn't help most. A lot of people.
So I stay away from dairy if I can. But I do like some dairy, so I don't always stay away from it. yeah, so that's something
So that's like your, like you say, your day's not written off, but that's
well, pretty much is.
that's a definite home day.
Yeah,
Not much
don't go out. Yeah,
not much else is happening on that day. But
yeah. And usually my medication day will be a Monday, but because I wanted to do this special today, I had my medication yesterday. But next week I'll be back to Mondays.
afterwards, do you feel quite a relief, or do you not notice much of a difference because you can't really feel it?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel relieved, especially
Okay,
especially after the pain's finished.
Yeah, like once you're obviously you go, your tummy feels better. Everything sort of works a bit better. You've got a week of backup, so obviously it's always a good feeling, a fresher feeling once it's all out, and start your week again, and then
that's it.
you're all good.
Yeah, and some weeks some weeks I'll eat a lot, and then other weeks I won't eat too much. Depends how many live music gigs I go to, because I eat big pub club meals.
Yeah, when you're not used to
it. So, and also that just reminded me of something that I wanted to bring up as well. So, for those that have visited my my YouTube channel regularly, if you've noticed my cover photo on my YouTube channel, Allison's dad actually did that for me. And
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty good on the computers. So
also did that for me. Did like that logo that's on my hat.
Yeah.
He put that together. So, and I just made that picture. So I sent this company the picture of just the name there, and had them put it on a hat. So this is the hat that I'll always wear when I'm on YouTube. I've worn it in maybe, I don't know, 95% of my videos. And there's been times when I've forgotten to, or I've had a different hat on. Like I've done some videos after work, and I've had my work hat on. So haven't bothered to swap hats. So.
Does your dad do graphics, Allison, or is it just a hobby of his?
Just a hobby. Yeah.
Okay, he's pretty good at it, hey?
He is.
Yeah, he's very good. Very good at it.
And as most of my followers will know, I am very much into going and seeing live music, and that's how I got to know Allison, actually, because her dad is a drummer.
He was a drummer for since before I was born. He's been in bands.
Yeah. So I met Allison's dad, and then I got to know him, and then Allison and Allison's mum also came along to a gig that I was at, and got to know the whole family pretty much.
Yeah.
Although I don't think I've met your sister yet.
Yeah, I don't think you have. No. Yeah.
That's the only one I haven't met. Yeah.
Is your dad is that like his gigging or his music his main job, or is that his little side gig?
That was a side gig. He's retired now, but he was a warehouse manager for a long time.
Okay. And then just did these gigging
the
on
band was sort of just a side thing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is spina bifida hereditary? Is it a genetic thing, or is it just
can be? I think I don't know what you've heard, Rob, but I've read that if you have it, or someone in the family has it, then your child's chances of having it are a little bit higher than it would be if no one else did.
Okay.
In the family. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, from what I've heard, that could be true as well, because there's actually a few different versions of spina bifida, and Yeah. So some of them might be hereditary, or you might be able to catch it from someone else.
Genetic wise,
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of increases the. I'm not sure what the percentage is, but it does increase the chances a bit.
Chances of a child.
It can increase them, yeah.
But it's also to do with a mother's diet before and during pregnancy.
Folate.
Oh, wow.
Lack of folate in your diet, apparently.
Yeah. Because I know, as soon as you sort of know that you're pregnant, you should, start taking folate tablets and folic acid. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know that my mum, my parents, they had no idea what spina bifida was. They hadn't heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't know.
I suppose your parents' age, did they know about it then? Did they know enough about it then? Did they even know that, low levels of fiber, whatever?
It was funny because Mum didn't know about it, but Dad had actually seen a documentary not too long before I was born, so he kind of had a bit of an idea.
So your parents only found out once you were born?
Yeah.
Okay. So also, it didn't.
You can usually pick up on it on the ultrasound, but apparently I was in the wrong position.
Yeah. And I also think back in the day, they didn't know that technology or didn't have those abilities to test or know what they're even testing. So now with technology, now they can try to do something.
Yeah, and I was very lucky with my hydrocephalus actually, because when I had my shunt put in, it was pretty much the early days of shunts being around.
Wow, so it's like
I was very lucky.
Very new and
I think that only been invented maybe 5 to 10 years before I was born.
Wow, that's lucky, hey? Because I suppose what would another option be? They don't even know.
Yeah. Well, I was told that if I didn't have a shunt, I'd be either severely brain damaged or brain dead.
Wow.
So
that's crazy.
I'm lucky there. Yeah. That's why I got really bad headaches when it broke.
You think the pressure or something's not draining or moving, you don't have blood flow? Or,
it's to do with the fluids in the brain, I think. Yeah,
because the valves that come off your brain don't develop properly, and so
it's not pumping. It's not pumping things around.
The tube is acting as the valves.
Okay.
Yeah. So and it. I've got I always tell people that my lucky number is the number 7, because I've got a big scar on my head, which is actually in the shape of a number 7. From when they put the shunt in.
The shunt. Oh, okay.
You literally got it cut into your head.
Yeah, and I've got too much hair at the moment to show you, but I haven't had a haircut. But I can show you though. I don't know if I can get this on camera, but I've got a scar there where it comes down to your stomach.
Oh yeah, I'll bring it down.
Yeah, so I've got a scar there. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but that's actually where it pretty much ends.
The shunt?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it goes from your brain pretty much into your stomach.
Okay.
And that's they put a scar in my
cut through there
between the chest and the stomach to bring it through.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. And I can actually feel it.
Wow.
I can actually feel the shunt pretty much all the way down.
Oh, it's like a tube.
It's a tube that's pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, you can feel them apparently.
Yeah, I can feel most of mine. Pretty much the only spot that I can't really feel it is in this area here, like in the collarbone area. Yeah.
So it goes all the way down though, but you can't actually feel it in there. Like
I can't feel it in this little bit here.
Maybe it's a bit deeper, or it's under a muscle or something.
Maybe.
Yeah, but the rest of it I can feel. Like I can pretty much, I can follow it down. So I'll touch it and I'll follow it all the way down. So.
Is it sensitive?
No. Right down to there. Yeah, so I can feel it all the way down, except for that one little bit just here.
Except for that bit, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. And because you've got two valves on your brain, I've actually got another bit of tube that goes across the top of my head. So I've got another little scar on this side as well. Yeah. I'm getting a few shocked comments. People are a bit shocked by that information.
That's good. It's interesting.
And Chris is saying,
"Oh, there you go. I can see the comments now." Yeah.
And Paul says, "Geez," and Roger says, "Wow, at least it does its job." And Robbo, be great there. Okay, I don't know what he meant by that, but no, it is definitely doing its job. I don't have any feeling of any headache, so that's good.
Yeah.
So it's definitely doing its job. And I've actually got there's a bit that sticks out a fair bit on the head, and that's actually a spot where you can test if it's working, and you actually push down on it, and if it doesn't pop up within 30 seconds, it's not working.
Wow.
So
so that make it quite superficial, so that you can test it and you can.
Yeah. So there's a little part just on the just there,
just behind you. Yeah.
And you can press on it, and if it doesn't pop up within 30 seconds, then it's something wrong with it.
Oh, don't push too hard. Don't test
it.
No,
I never test it myself.
Yeah, no, let a doctor test it. So.
Yeah, the only people that have ever tested it are my mum or a doctor.
Okay.
And because my mum's been taught how to do it.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think there's a bit of an art to it. So.
Yeah. So but trying to think if there's any other part of my disability I need to tell you about.
Well, you don't really have that many limitations on your kidney, having lost your kidney.
Well, I've got to
be careful.
I've got to make sure I look after the one that I've got. I did hear that another thing I did hear was that
that's quite common.
Kidney failure is one of the biggest killers of people with spina bifida.
Wow, so that kill you first than anything. That's quite common.
So I've got to make sure I look after the
But that's also
kidney
all your bowel stuff and all your sort of catheterization, all that kidney infections.
So I've got to look after all that. And but there's different, as I said, there's different forms of spina bifida, and I think the harshest one is the one that you can die from kidney failure.
I can never remember the names of all of them.
No, me either.
Do you have the harshest one?
I think.
Because isn't it something?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Do you know which one it is that you have, Rob?
I'm not sure, but because I've had a kidney out, I think it might be the harshest one.
Ooh, yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Now you got to look after that last one.
Yeah. So, I've got, but I've been told that the one that I do have is actually doing a pretty good job. So
okay. Well, surely they would keep a pretty good eye on that to make sure that's
they do.
That's working good.
These days I have 6 month checkups.
Yeah, regular checkups.
Just to make sure that it's still going okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually due for a checkup. I think I'll be going for a checkup in the next month or two.
And what do they do? Just scan you, or is it an ultrasound? Or
they've done both. They've done CT scans and ultrasounds.
Yeah.
So they've the last time was just an ultrasound. I prefer the ultrasound.
Yeah. It's not as invasive and it's not as intense.
And when they do the CT scan, they either inject you with this dye or they make you drink this stuff.
Yeah, it's terrible.
If you have to drink the fluid, it sucks. It really sucks. And have you had many of them, Allison?
Not with the fluid, but I've had lots of ultrasounds. Yeah, I'm supposed to. I was actually supposed to have one this year, I think, but getting a bit slack on those. I think. Yeah.
Do you have to go for regular checkups to do with your spina bifida?
Not as such. I think it's mostly the ultrasounds, just to check all the kidneys and all that sort of thing.
Everything's functioning good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
and it was
tell you.
last time I had one, and it was all good. So hopefully it hasn't changed at all. But yeah.
Yeah, when I had my kidney issues, they actually looked back at old ultrasounds to see how
it's deteriorated.
See how quickly it actually deteriorated. And to see if they could have picked it up earlier or not. But g'day, Chris. How are you, man? Good to see you. Chris is coming to us from Tasmania.
Oh.
Good to see you, Chris.
Hey, Chris. So obviously, what did you have kidney pain? Well, you don't really know kidney pain or sort of back pain, or what led you to think like something's not right with my kidney?
I actually just went to the doctor to talk about constipation.
Oh.
And they said, "Oh, you're."
So maybe they picked, but could the kidney? Well, you think it's constipation, but it's maybe the kidney playing up, or.
Yeah, I was both.
Okay, but
so
both,
I definitely was constipated.
Yeah.
And then the doctor said to me, "Your blood pressure's awfully high.
Oh, wow.
We might have to do some tests." And so I got tested on a few things, and sure enough, they found out that I had a kidney problem.
Wow. Have you ever had stones from it or not? No.
Okay. So it was lucky that I. It was lucky that
just popped in and they checked you out.
So I almost didn't go to the doctor about it. I almost just had another dose of my medication.
Medicate yourself and then.
But it was lucky. Lucky I went to the doctor.
Then I can pick it up early because depending on how long you leave it and how long it takes. So.
Yeah. G'day, Jimmy. Good to see you, mate. Yeah. I was going to bring up something else too, but it's slipped my mind. I'm trying to think what it was I was going to bring up.
But your kidney, like you said, doesn't set you back huge amounts. You just got to look after it. Or
I've just got to do my best to look after it.
It doesn't sort of change much. Or
I'm sort of looking after it. Like I don't drink. Ever since I gave up alcohol, I was drinking schooners of Coke. And that was bad. But then I discovered non-alcoholic beers, which don't have anywhere near as much sugar. So I think they're better for me.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I do occasionally have water as well.
Occasionally.
I definitely have water.
But he's looking after his kidney.
I definitely have water at home. I don't know about when I go out.
Yeah. No. Well, it's a couple of glasses a day.
We're doing a disability special, Jimmy. So ask me any questions you want to know about disability. Or even Allison here, she might want to ask something, answer something. Well, I hope you have a good sleep, Chris. Good to see you in here, mate. Hope hydrotherapy goes well tomorrow. Hope it all goes good, mate. And I hope you're feeling better than you were last time I saw you. Yeah. So I was going to say. Now it slipped my mind again. Oh, damn it. It was something good too.
That'll come.
That's right. Yeah. So when I was a kid, it's a support worker, Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
Her name's Hayley. She's staying with me while my parents are away. Yeah. So, and I'm going to say this before it slips my mind again.
Go.
So, and it almost did. What was I going to say?
When you were a kid.
That's right. So when I was a kid, I had to do regular visits to the Sydney Children's Hospital at Randwick to have checkups at the Spina Bifida clinic there. And that's actually where I was rushed to when I was born as well. And
when you were born here?
I was born at Camden Hospital.
Oh, okay.
And then I was rushed to the Sydney
Wow, as
Sydney
soon
Children's
as you were
Hospital at
born,
Randwick.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much an hour later.
Wow.
And yeah, but another thing about my disability is I've got bad vertigo and fear of heights, and that's partly to do with the fact that the balance part of my brain is bigger than it should be.
Okay.
And yeah, so I used to have whenever I went to Randwick to the Sydney Children's Hospital, I had to go up to the 4th floor to go to the clinic, and that was not fun.
That was
Just
not
going up to the floor in the clinic, what they're going to do to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so yeah, I never liked doing that. And then when I was about, I think it was when I was about 16, they did some renovations on the hospital, and they moved the clinic down to the bottom floor. So that was awesome. I got to go on just on the ground floor for the rest of the time that I was going to the children's clinic. But then I turned 18, and they said, "Okay, now you've got to go to the adult clinic." And the adult clinic was in the building next door, and I had to go up to the 7th floor.
Oh.
I went there once, and I've never been back.
I was gonna ask, how did you find the adults one? Because we were not impressed.
Yeah, no, same here.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad.
It's as soon as you turn 18, you're on your own. Like
yeah,
they just had the one doctor, and she was treating doing everybody.
Yep.
And
wow,
there were times there were times that we didn't even get seen because she was so
overbooked,
and yeah.
Wow. No, that's hard. And you're not treated right.
With the children's ones, you've got a group of doctors that, one of them's the neurosurgeon or whatever, and
every part of your body, basically.
Pretty much a doctor for each part of your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then now that you're an adult, you just get one, and she just oversees everything.
Yeah. Well, I had two. I had one that oversaw everything except for my head, because I had a neurosurgeon for my head.
That's another level, yeah.
Yeah. And so I had two, and but they were both on the 7th floor.
Oh.
So so basically I was talking to one. I was talking to the one that it's tomorrow, Jimmy. I was talking to the one that looked after everything else whilst I was waiting to see the neurosurgeon. So yeah. But I only ever went there the once because I couldn't handle it. Because as soon as you come out the lift up on the 7th floor, there's a window right there, and I could see out.
If you've got a thing about heights, and the vertigo,
and my head was spinning the whole time.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It was bad.
Doctor's appointments can be intimidating as it is, and then that's the next level.
Yeah. Yeah, going in there nervous.
Do you reckon the vertigo is to do with the hydro, or is it just a separate thing? Do you think?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's to do with the hydrocephalus plus the fact that the balance part of my brain is bigger than it should be.
Is that also quite common in all the hydro stuff, or is it just
not everyone that has spina bifida gets hydrocephalus, but
but then the balance side of the brain.
Yeah, I don't know about vertigo. Do you get vertigo, Allison?
No.
No, so it must be the hydrocephalus.
Really?
And you're okay with that?
Yeah, I do sort of feel a little bit funny if I look up at really high ceilings, but it's not. It's not like
a fear of it or something that. Yeah.
I can't go to the city. I don't like going into Sydney
tall
City.
Buildings. Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to freak me out, but not now. It's not as bad now.
But I tested myself though every year by doing an event with the Rail Museum that they did at Central Station, and so I'd go to Central Station to work this event to test myself whilst I was working, and as long as I kept myself busy,
then
I was okay.
As soon as you start looking around, you're like,
yeah, distractions.
And,
keep yourself distracted and busy doing things, and
that's it.
Yeah.
So, and Jimmy's just asked, how long have I had my disability? I was born with it, Jimmy. It's you're born with spina bifida. And although I've heard some weird stories about spina bifida where people have found out about it later on too.
Well, yeah, the one that the occulta one, the really minor one, you can sort of go. I've heard of people going through life with that one and not realizing they have it until they have some sort of like. There was one. I spoke to one person that said they didn't know they had it until they had a car accident, and had to go to the hospital for for a scan, and they found it when they did like X-rays and stuff. So, but
so it's obviously a very mild form of it.
Yeah, occulta is the really mild version. If you
they call it, they basically call it invisible spina bifida.
Yeah, occulta is it's invisible because it's not as obvious as the others. Like they don't have the lesion on the back.
Yeah.
And
do you know any celebrities that have got spina bifida? Because I do.
I only know about Jeff St. John. He died a couple of years ago now, but he was a singer that had it. Mum followed him on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really know any celebrities that.
Yeah. Okay. So, have you heard of the name Florence Henderson?
Oh yeah.
She played the mother in the Brady Bunch. She had it.
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Must have been a mild one.
Yeah, she had the invisible one. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So.
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know about it either. My mum told me. She found out. That was interesting to find out after watching it many times. I had no idea.
Yeah, watched the Brady Bunch for years. Had no idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one was a bit of a shock when I heard it. That's when I actually started to learn a bit more about spina bifida and the fact that there's a few different versions of it. And and plus I do my my yearly posts about Spina Bifida Awareness Week, which is the first week of September. Although I think they call it Spinal Injury Awareness Week these days.
Encompass a few different things, I think.
So they've changed it a bit to do with all spinal
general,
stuff. Yeah. And
rather than just Spina Bifida.
But I still talk about Spina Bifida as much as I can on that week, just to get the word out a bit.
Yeah, it's knowledge and it's information and educating and.
Okay, so Chris has just asked, what makes Spina Bifida invisible?
It's the one where, how do you explain this?
Isn't it to do with, it's like your nerves at the base of your spine, or like sort of the base of your spine. They don't sort of connect down to your legs, or they sort of pull there. And
there's usually when a baby's born with spina bifida, there's usually like there can be like a bubble.
Yeah.
But occulta doesn't have that. That's the invisible one.
I've also heard sometimes it can look like a little hole or like a dimple.
Yeah, that's what mine did.
And then so that's like the sac is not external, it's like internal.
It's
but
all
then the nerves,
mostly internal with that one.
The nerves are there's still a problem with the nerves, but
and I've also got there's because your spine's in pieces. I've actually got a little part of the bone above the tailbone missing.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
they discovered that because I had the opening in the spine when I was born.
So that just didn't develop.
Didn't grow. Didn't
last.
develop. Oh, okay.
That was basically the spina bifida. Like that was
Yeah.
part of it.
So like one of
and
the vertebrae, is it one of the vertebrae that's?
Yeah, you know how your spine's in, like the bones
Yeah,
are in
little
pieces
bones,
as it goes up. Yeah, so it was the one above the
You're
tailbone
missing that.
wasn't complete. It was not completely
Gone.
there. It was just part of it's missing.
Okay.
And then I had the opening. And another thing I heard about the opening is that it can be anywhere on your spine, and
really?
the closer it is to your head, the less chance you have of walking.
Yeah, the higher up on the back it is, the more paralysis you've got.
Yeah.
So if it's between your shoulders,
it was like at your tailbone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So mine's right down the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
mine's kind of hip region, like sort of between the hips. Yeah. Base of the spine sort of thing. So
yeah, right at the bottom of the spine. Yeah. That's pretty much where mine is. Yeah.
I think that's the more common one, like where it is on the spine. I think that tends to happen fairly often, that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, the higher up it is, the more paralysis there is.
The more severe.
Yeah.
Okay. I suppose you've got, it hasn't sort of grown or sort of come all the way down your spine to be able to give you sort of freedom to walk or, sort of nerve control or something like that. The higher it is.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. And Mark's just entered and he says, hi, Robbo. Thank you for sharing your life experience with all of us. I am learning a lot. My question is, are there any medical advances improving your quality of life? How can I put that?
Kind of, I guess.
Well, yeah, as I was saying before, like I think you may have only just come in, Mark, but so I've got a tube attached to my head called a shunt, and it's draining fluid through my body from my brain. And a few years before I was born, they didn't exist, and so I'm lucky to have it, because if I didn't have it, I'd be either severely brain damaged or brain dead. So so I'm lucky that they made that in time for when I was born. You know,
technology.
Yeah, and and no worries, man.
Because there's not really much, unfortunately, that they can really do about it. There's like they sort of can try and sort of make you as comfortable, but they can't.
Yeah, there's no like surgery that they can really do.
Yeah, once you've got it, you've got it.
Yeah.
Once you got it, you got it. Yeah.
Although these days they actually can stop it if they catch it early enough.
If they catch it early enough, they can actually do surgery while the baby's still in the womb. But
wow, that's crazy, hey?
Yeah. So that's good. Because I was saying to Hayley before that it used to be back when I was born, it was like 1 in 1,000 that would get it.
Yeah, the statistics change, but that 1 in 1,000 was what I'd heard too. Yeah.
So
I'd even say your wheelchairs, and I mean, I know it's not medical technology, but your aids and those kind of things have really advanced. Like, I mean, I know you get motorized wheelchairs now, or ones that sort of can drive themselves, or just give you a little bit of freedom, or even those kind of things have really advanced from old sort of rickety things to some of them are quite funky now. So
no, I like the wheelchair that I've got now. It's a pretty good one. And a lot better than the first one I ever had. I just had a hospital one, and they they almost didn't want it back because it was in that bad of condition when I gave it back.
No, you're right.
Well,
You
you
keep
used
it.
it.
Yeah. I used to rally it around my high school.
Oh well.
Well, they
give
gave it to you to use, so
and-
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
So yeah, I made good use of it. Yeah.
fair enough.
And Jimmy just asked, if you don't mind me asking, does spina bifida make you live shorter or longer? Depends on what one you've got.
Yeah, it can depend on other health things as well. Like it's not a disability that generally affects lifespan. I don't think. I think if the only thing that would affect it is like complications. Like say for example kidney failure or
as Rob was saying, there's other things, not really the spina bifida that
it's not the spina bifida that's as
other,
such it's other things.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Chris has just asked me a question, but I don't know if I can pronounce that word. So I'm going to put this up on the screen and see if anyone else can.
Neurosarcoidosis?
I don't know. What is it?
I'm not sure what it is. Do you know what it is, Chris?
Sounds like a brain thing.
Yeah, it's something to do with the brain. Yeah, it's neuro.
Neuro.
Yeah.
Try Google
it. Yep. Yeah.
It's here.
So Hayley's gonna Google it and see what we can find out about
Google.
it. Yeah. Good old Google.
Good old Google. What did we do without it before it became a thing?
What would we do without it?
I would ask Siri, but I don't know I don't know how to pronounce that word.
Wasn't before Google? Wasn't it didn't it used to be Ask Jeeves?
Yeah.
Jeeves
Oh my
used to be it.
gosh! I don't Ask Jeeves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Jimmy here is training to be a doctor, and he's just said I'm learning about spina bifida in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's cool.
So we're giving you a bit of advanced education here, Jimmy.
You might be able to give us some input from a doctor's point of view.
Yeah.
The medical.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, he's in medical school at the moment, learning to be a doctor.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Got a few months to go, he said.
All right, so that's neurosyndrome. That word.
That thing.
Sarcoidosis. It's granulomas in various tissues, mainly involved in the central nervous system, brain, and spinal cord. They manifest abnormalities in the cranial nerves. So, wow, that's crazy if his mate's got it. A group of the 12 nerves supplying the head and the neck, the most common, develops acutely, chronically. Probably 5 to 10% of people with sarcoidosis and other organs develop, the central nervous system involvement. Okay, so it's little granulomas, like little things along the nervous system. So, wow, that's that's hectic.
Yeah, and Chris has just tried to help us pronounce it. He's just said neurosarcoidosis.
Oh, there we go. Thanks, Chris. We're a little slow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite hectic. That's terrible.
Did you just send me that message, Allison, or was that a delayed message that I just got?
What?
I just got a message about you said something about swapping computers.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago. That must have been.
I just got it.
Might have been probably my stupid internet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's probably my stupid internet. Yeah, mine's shocking.
Maybe it's both.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's.
Sure, Chris. So, does your mate's neurosarcoidosis, does it affect him quite badly? Does he have bad, limitations and stuff? So,
Paul's just asked a question. He said, I'm going to highlight this so everyone can see it. Can people with spina bifida have children? Yes.
Yes. Unless you
And-
have some other fertility issue, it shouldn't affect your ability to have children.
And then that's then touching on what we were saying earlier with it's hereditary. So obviously, they would keep a very close eye on your baby and your pregnancy, and
you would have to be very closely monitored, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't actually been told much myself.
I suppose you Googling your own disability and learning about it as you go.
Just research. I did have a ultrasound just to check everything, and they said it's all it's all there. So
okay, so there's no problems, and
they said unless there's some other issue that you shouldn't have any problems conceiving if you
if you want to.
Yeah.
Cool.
They told me I wouldn't have any problems if I ever wanted to.
Okay, so you on the other side, you also sort of fertile, and it doesn't affect your.
Yeah, they told me I shouldn't have any problems.
Okay, all good.
Obviously, like this is getting a bit towards tomorrow's topic, but they basically just they said to me, as long as you can get an erection, then you shouldn't have any problems. My thing is that like I can, but it's definitely better if I use something like Viagra. But like I don't have to use it. I don't have to use it, but it's better if I do.
I have seen on there's a Facebook group that's 18 plus spina bifida. I don't know if you're in that group, Rob.
No.
And they do ask that sort of question, and they've said some guys do have more trouble with it than others, but it seems to be an individual thing.
I think it depends on how bad the spina bifida affects you. Like if you've got no feeling from the waist down, then
that's what I'm saying. It's all nerve related, and it's all blood flow and that kind of stuff. So
I think the ones that have it really high up on the spine would probably have problems.
Really struggle. So that's good old medication, and it can obviously help you out, and it still functions and it still works. And
that's it.
Yeah, that's great.
But don't ask me any more questions about that, people, until tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow's topic. What'd you say then, Allison?
We're saving that for tomorrow.
I'm doing a full episode on sex tomorrow, and we'll go into that topic a bit more tomorrow. Yeah, exactly, Paul. Yeah, Paul just said that's an early taste of what to expect tomorrow night. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I will go into a bit more detail tomorrow. But yeah, I definitely want to say I'm going to save that for tomorrow because.
No, but it's a real life situation, I suppose, and it's very adult situation, but at least you still can have the opportunity. So
yeah. And Jimmy just said, "Where can I find that hat? I like it." I'm gonna have to make an online store so that you can buy merchandise.
Yeah, you need merch.
Yeah,
you need to start a merch store.
Yeah, I think I will.
Yeah, get a few of your coldie holders. Use your hats.
Yeah.
Coasters.
I'll get myself on. I need to get an ABN first, and then I'll do that. Yeah. I'm going to have to get an ABN for the channel anyway once it becomes monetized.
Yeah, it's only $50, and away you go. So
that's I'll look into that for you, Jimmy, and you'll be the first to know if I start a merch store. Yeah, and all the designs on all the merch will be coming from Allison's dad.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's good. And I'm not really understanding that comment, Roger, but I think, yeah, he's looking forward to tomorrow. I think that's what he's saying. Yeah. Yeah. So what else? What other part can we mention? Trying to think if there's any other areas of spina bifida that we haven't covered, or anything to do with disability, really. Yeah. Well, so the things that I get help with as far as support workers are concerned is having someone here when my parents are away, mainly just for company, really, and just so I know there's someone else in the house, so I'm not here by myself. Or if I've just done a fun run and I need help to go to the toilet because I'm too sore to
bend down, sit under your shoes.
Yeah. So and then company and transport to go out and do things like going out to see live music or going out to do the fun run, or and then what else is there?
Do you get much support, Allison? Do you get support?
Yeah, I have a support worker that I go out with 2 days a week.
Okay, cool.
And another one that I've been going out on, like, just on weekends sort of thing, going to gigs and live gigs.
Just to get out and about, really. Just
getting out and about. Yeah.
Do you live on your own?
No, I'm in a granny flat on my parents' property. So.
Oh wow! Okay, that's handy. Yeah, that's good. So you've at least got someone close by.
Yeah.
But you're not like you're on your own. You got your own space, but you at least got someone there. Oh, good.
Yeah. I was going to ask something else, then I just slipped my mind again. That's great. No. But Jimmy just asked a question, and this is an interesting question. But I actually do have an answer for this question.
That is an interesting question.
If you had to choose, what is your favorite thing about your disability? So my favorite thing about my disability is that if I catch a train somewhere, I've always got a seat. So if it's a busy train,
always got a seat in the food court at the shops too.
Everyone else can stand. You're like, no, I'm good, thanks.
Sometimes I kind of like the attention I get for it, but
no, you do get, you do get special attention, which is good. That's nice. You've gone through a lot of hardships, more than most people, so a bit of positive attention is good.
Jimmy just said, sorry, my doctor's mind is coming into play. That's all right. That's fine. Ask whatever you want, Jimmy, mate, because
it'll be interesting.
I'd actually like to hear some questions from a doctor's point of view, really. I think that's a good.
There are some doctors that don't know much about spina bifida, so
I know.
But also, you probably,
as we've found out with the NDIS, getting
it's quite rare. So, how much do they put into it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's how much time do they spend on it, educating them and learning about it?
Because they would need to learn a lot of stuff. So, how long do they get to?
It's a pretty intense sort of disability, and there's different versions of it and different levels and stuff. So
they would probably have to spend a bit of time on it, but they might not spend as much time.
But I suppose until you get a patient that comes in and then you start learning about them, then you do a bit of research, then you sort of try and build stuff up about with them. Cool.
Paul's just asked a question, and he says, is it hard to do daily exercises and stuff like that? I'll let you go first, Allison.
It can be, yeah. Just in terms of mobility and stuff.
It's a bit challenging regardless.
Depending on, again, what type of spine bifida you have. People with the occulta one probably wouldn't have that much trouble, but yeah.
I suppose
Like,
even
for example,
like any type of exercise. I mean, you sort of
most
of the time
for
you're sitting in
example, using a treadmill is not easy when you've got this one. Like,
Hey, Karen. Karen's just joined us.
Hi, Karen.
I forget where Karen's from. Where are you from, Karen? I've forgotten. I think you're in Queensland, aren't you? Yeah. Well, as far as my exercise is concerned, I joined my first gym about just over 10 years ago, and I found that. So I've got a big house, and to walk from one end of the house to the other is a challenge. But I found that since I started going to a gym and doing work on my legs at the gym, it's actually made it easier for me to walk from one end of the house to the other.
It would strengthen. It's strengthened your core and all that.
Yeah,
easier on the muscles and that sort of thing.
Yeah, but I also, like, I do the fun runs and that, and I go as hard as I can on those, and just about kill myself when I do them. And people say to me all the time, they say, "Oh, you must be so built, because you push your chair around all over the place, and then you do these fun runs. You must have massive muscles." And that's another thing about spina bifida. I don't know if it's all spina bifida, but I was told that if you want to make muscles with spina bifida, you've got to work really hard just to keep muscles.
You probably find you've got to be very strong to do what you do in a chair. So even though you're not all bulky, and I mean you're quite as
you would have good upper body strength for
you have hectic without you even realizing it. So even your grip strength, your forearms, all of that, that's a lot of your strength is in there.
Yeah, so I do have, like, my shoulders are I've got decent shoulders, but that's about it.
It's gotta be. Damn, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, and I do like someone. I've had a few people say to me actually that they would not put the words "fun" and "run" in the same sentence, and but I love it. I love fitness. I love going to gyms. I love doing the fun runs. Especially the fun runs. The fun runs are my favourite. And the one I just did was actually it was quite fun because I was right at the back of the field, and I had one or two other guys who we kept passing each other at certain points, and like I'd overtake them, and then they'd overtake me, and then I'd overtake them again, and it just depended on the hill. Like if I was going uphill, they'd overtake me, and then we'd hit a downhill, and then I'd overtake them, and and we were yelling things out at each other as we're passing each other. And it was,
bit of encouragement.
It was fun, and then when I finished, I had the guy that was behind me. He finished not long after I did. Couple of minutes after I did, and I was still sitting near the finish line, and he come up and had a bit of a chat with me when he finally finished, and it was good. And we spoke to someone beforehand as well.
There were a lot of people that I think he still had his number on, and then they're all color coded, and then people sort of saw, they were like shocked that he did the purple was the 10 kilometer. And they're like, what the heck? You did the 10 kilometer? That's crazy. And it is good. It's nice to sort of get that sort of notoriety. Like, it's tough. It's tough running it as an able person, let alone,
Mm.
doing it in a wheelchair. It's ridiculous. I know. It's awesome that you did it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
mm.
No, I have a lot of fun, even though I'm in a lot of pain afterwards. I have fun doing them, and I think it's because everyone out on the course supports everyone supports each other.
Everyone's very positive. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot to answer that question. Someone asked me before, do I know my official time yet? And I don't actually.
Oh, you didn't look it? Well,
No,
we'll look later.
they still haven't put up the official.
Oh no.
They still haven't put up the results yet for some reason.
Oh.
But I'm thinking it was around about 1:24, an hour 24. And my best time for a 10K is an hour and 7 minutes and 55 seconds. But I've got to say this, that the one I just did was the first one in about a year.
And no training.
So you're probably, you're a bit out of condition for it.
Yeah. So I think I did pretty good considering those things. And no, it was a good event, and it was good. Oh, and that person that spoke to me beforehand said that they think that they recognised me from a previous time that I was there. So,
the year before.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jimmy says, I've tried a wheelchair for fun and it was not easy. So I give anyone with a wheelchair kudos.
Yeah. No, it is. It's quite a bit of cohort. You're trying to go back or turn left, turn right. It's let alone pop wheelies on them or jump up a curve or something. I've also tried them. Like, it is good fun, but it's coordination.
Yeah. I'll tell you a funny story actually about the first time I tried a wheelchair. I was wheeling down the hallway of a hospital, and they had side hallways off to the main hallway, and I was pushing myself down the hallway and then steering into the side hallways to practice my steering, and on one of the goes, I ended up steering myself straight into a lift.
Didn't quite get the corner.
It had just opened, and I ended up steering myself straight into it.
Wow.
And ended up going downstairs. I didn't know how to use lifts at the time. Like, it was back in the day when I was
young.
I was young and going out with my parents everywhere, and they were usually the ones that operated the lift, and I had no idea what I was doing. And
this young kid just did a random lift.
Yeah. So
I've actually got a funny wheelchair story too. This was not me. This was my mother. Pushing my wheelchair. This was a few years ago, but I've never let her forget it. We're in, I think it was Woolworths, and she was pushing the chair, and she's kind of lost control a little bit, and we've hit this box of, the cardboard boxes with like cans of Coke in them. We've hit one of those boxes, and we thought, okay, no, it's all right, hasn't damaged anything. Backed up, and it just started spurting Coke out of the hole in the box. We're like, okay, let's just go quick.
Yeah.
Your chair's punctured one of the cans.
Punctured one of the cans, like,
Oh. Yeah, you're like, just go, next aisle.
Go.
Someone's like, what the hell? There's Coke all over the floor. There's not even or someone's going to get that box and get an empty can.
Get an empty can,
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got another one actually. This one's a bad one, so it might make some people cringe. I took my wheelchair to the local skate park, and that was a bad idea. There's a part of the skate park where it's just a flat concrete slab, and I was showing off doing skids in my wheelchair, like I was speeding up, and then I was doing big skids at the end of the concrete slab, and I did this a few times. And then on one of the trips down the concrete slab, I was picking up speed, and this push bike come across in front of me and cleaned me up. And I went one way, the chair went the other way, and my knees were the first thing to hit the ground, and they're the most sensitive part of my body. And yeah,
Ow.
and like I can only bend my knees back so far, but when my knees hit the ground, they decided they wanted to bend more, and it was excruciatingly bad pain. Like it was the worst pain, almost as bad as having a broken shunt. You know, it was really horrible pain, and anyway, there was a whole bunch of people there, luckily, and I had about 3 or 4 people come around me and ask me if I'm okay and if they could do anything to help. And
that's the one good thing, is if you fall out of your wheelchair, people are
someone's
always
to help you.
quick to come to help. Yeah,
I know it's like your worst nightmare, but
people don't just stand around and like
just
laugh at you or something. Like if somebody trips and falls over, the first instinct is to laugh. But if you come out of your wheelchair, people don't.
Oh no, it's shock. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. So yeah, I got one of the people to call my mother, because my dad was still at work back in these days, because this happened years ago. And anyway, so they called my mum, got my mum to come down with. I had these leg splints that I would wear sometimes that would keep my legs straight. So I said, "Oh, can you get my mum to come down and tell her to bring the leg splints?" So sure enough, my mum came down with the leg splints, and I put the leg splints on my legs on the concrete slab whilst I was still sitting on the ground, and had to get carried to the car. My mum pretty much parked right on the skate park, and had to get lifted up into the car, and so someone was holding the back of me, and then I had a couple other people holding my legs, and they were trying to help me hold my leg down, even with the splint on. And yeah, one of the cars ended up, one of the groups of people ended up following us back here to my place, and actually followed us all the way, and then carried me from my parents' car into bed here in my room. And
Shame, that's nice.
Yeah, wow. So I ended up stuck in bed for about 2 months before I had a mate come over who offered to come over and help me get out of bed and get into my wheelchair so that I could go down to Barrel Hospital to have some therapy done on my legs to try and get my legs back to how they are now. And so did that for a few weeks until my legs were back to their original condition, and
set you back a bit.
Yeah, it did.
It's horrible.
My legs are back to their normal bend now, as much as they've ever bent. So the therapy worked.
Did help, yeah.
And so that it was painful though. Like say, they'd get me into this heated swimming pool, and then they'd take the leg splints off, and then my legs would be going all over the place, and it was horrible. I didn't like going through that therapy at first because it was painful. And they actually tried to bend my legs an awful lot just to try and stop them from having the bad spasming that they were having. And that was
not fun.
That wasn't fun.
I'll let you listen there.
I'm cringing a little bit just thinking about it. It's bringing back bad memories. It was a horrible experience.
Not good.
and yeah,
How did the guy go on the bus on the push bike? That
he felt really bad.
knocked you.
The guy-
Was he injured?
It was
or
actually a
he's-
guy that I knew,
Oh,
and yeah, he felt pretty bad
I'm sure he did. Yeah.
that he did it. And anytime I've seen him since, he still
Oh,
apologises.
don't. Oh, that's good. At least he's got a little bit of remorse. So.
Yeah, and this happened quite some time ago too.
Yeah.
I think I was maybe 18,
Yeah.
something like that. It happened a fair while ago. Yeah.
Oh, shame.
That's
Yeah,
it.
not a good place. Not a good time.
But I haven't been as much of a daredevil in my wheelchair since that happened.
A little bit more reserved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And so has anyone got any other questions they want to ask about disability? Because we're almost at 2 hours, and I think we might end it at 2 hours. And
yeah, I don't think we could do 4. I mean, we could try.
I think 2 hours is
done good.
Pretty good, actually. Yeah. So, any more questions, and then we're gonna wrap up in about 10 minutes. Jimmy's asked me how the Rail Museum's going, so I'm going to answer that question. And I have brought it up in here already, so I will fill in the people that haven't heard the news. I actually quit my volunteering job at the Rail Museum about maybe 2 weeks ago now, I think it was, or maybe a week ago. Actually, no, it'll be 2 weeks on Wednesday. That's when it'll be 2 weeks on Wednesday since I decided to give up my job. It's just I was one of the managers, and I was working with other managers, and we just didn't see eye to eye on some stuff, and it was just best to call it quits, because they didn't really want to hear what I had to say. So yeah.
Could you not speak to someone? Or
I tried. I tried. As soon as I had a list of about 4 or 5 things that I wanted to bring up with one of my bosses. I brought up one of the things, and he raised his arms in the air and he walked off in the other direction. So
wow, that is a terrible reaction.
And I didn't want to bring up any of the other stuff because of that reaction. So I just said, no, that's it. I'm not going to even bother.
Oh, that's disappointing.
So I haven't been back since. And yeah. But
that's a pity.
They've sent out some group emails since that day that I've actually received, because I must be still on the mailing list.
Yeah.
And they
haven't tried to contact you, or
my boss, the boss that didn't react badly that day, he tried to convince me to stick with the team the next day. But yeah, I said no thanks.
No. So, if you can't support me, then no.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought it was best to call it quits. And
how long were you there for?
How long did you on the mini trains? On the mini trains, I was there for 8 years.
Oh wow, you were there for ages, and they couldn't even give you the time of day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's terrible.
8 years of volunteering with mini trains, but almost 13 years all up.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
no, that's not cool.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, if that's going to be their attitude, then
yeah, I'll bugger that. You're giving up your time and you're volunteering, and
it's not even a pay. Like, they're not even paying you. It's a volunteer job.
That's what I'm saying, and they still.
Yeah.
No, that's not right.
No, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I would have done the same. Be like, stuff you guys.
Yeah, well, they've told me I'm welcome back any time, but yeah, not if they're not if they're not going to listen to me when I have things to talk about.
Situations. That's work. That's business.
You know? So like,
if someone else is not acting right, or their reaction is affecting you,
and like we had a few managers, and like, so we had my 2 bosses, and then we had me as the head manager, and then we had a few other volunteer managers, and my bosses were getting paid, and the rest of us are just volunteers, and they would get the other managers to come in if I wasn't available, but I was pretty much always available.
Yeah.
So I was there almost every week, and very rarely did they have to get another manager in.
Yeah.
And
No, that's
so
very disappointing. Yeah.
all I can say is good luck to them now trying to find a manager for every week.
Yeah, exactly. So someone's going to have to fill in. You're like, well, sorry guys.
Yeah.
You can't treat your staff right, then no.
Yeah. So
No, that's a bit tricky.
and I don't want to end the live stream on that. So can we think of something awesome to finish the live stream on, please? I don't really know what else to talk about at the moment, but if anyone's got any other questions before we go in about 5 minutes, think of something fun to talk about relating to disability. Like I'll try and think if I've had any other stupid experiences on my wheelchair. I'm sure I have. Oh, I nearly got done for speeding at MacArthur Square.
In your wheelchair?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, got done.
How fast were you going? It's a wheelchair. Like,
Are you kidding?
No, they said to me, you should be going walking pace. And I said, well, I've never walked, so I don't know what walking pace is.
Yeah,
that's a good comeback, that.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm in a chair for a reason, you twit.
Yeah. And then I was trying to push myself from Thornmere down to Tarmore one day, and the cop pulled up alongside me and he says, you should have a crash hat on. And I was like, what?
Wow.
You know, like it said I needed to have a helmet on. And I was like, yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I was like, you're full of crap, mate. What are you doing? And anyway, he says, no, go home and look at your owner's manual for your wheelchair, and I bet you'll find that you need a helmet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's being serious?
He was being serious, yeah.
Oh, I thought he was just having a go.
No, he wasn't. No.
So he should have a helmet.
He said, go
on
home.
the road?
He said, go home. Yeah, because I was on a public road. Yeah, like a bike. Yeah. So he says, go home and check your owner's manual. So I did. I found my owner's manual eventually. Yeah. I checked it, and it was the first thing I read.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I did not know that.
So, yeah. So if you're on a public road, like actually on the road,
you have to
you gotta have a helmet on.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he was just giving you.
And there's not many footpaths around here, so I have to go on the road a lot these days, like around here. Yeah. Oh, Mark wants to know about your accent. He said, am I correct in asking if your support worker is from Africa, going by her accent? If so, can I ask what part?
Yes. I'm impressed because not very many people get it. But yes, South Africa. And I'm from Johannesburg in South Africa. I haven't lived in South Africa for probably about 25 years now. I lived in London for about 8 years, and then I've been in Australia going on 17 years. So yeah, no, I don't think obviously I lose a little bit of the harshness of the accent, but I don't think you lose it. I speak to my family in South Africa, and they were like, oh my gosh, you are so Australian. Where here in Australia, they're like, yeah, my accent is still very strong. So no, I'm definitely not as strong as, the original South African. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's good. I don't hear my accent. My ears so sort of obviously tuned into Australians. I sort of, don't hear mine any different, and then a lot of people obviously pick it up, but I forget about it. I'm very Australian compared to South African.
Yeah.
So.
And Karen asked about if I had any run-ins with cyclists, and only that one that I had at the skate park.
Oh yeah.
And Medicine Man says, have you had your episode 69? It sounded like it would be an interesting show. As tomorrow, Medicine Man. Tomorrow night from 8:00 Sydney time. So make sure that you're here I'm going to have another support worker here for that one, actually. So that will be interesting. That's if she decides that she does want to go ahead with being part of it. And it's actually Lorraine Allison.
Oh, Lorraine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if she does go ahead with it. She's
Yeah. So yeah, I think she will. She's a bit shy about it. So we'll see. But you've gone all right with it, haven't you?
Oh yeah, even I'm a little camera shy, but no, as you sort of get into it, and yeah, obviously chat with everyone. No, it's just hanging out and just talking nonsense. So no, it is good. But yeah, tomorrow might be a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. And I've just noticed that there's someone backstage, but I've just got to let that person that's backstage know that we're actually just about to finish, and I'm very sorry. Yeah, we're about to wrap it up. Did you want to come up for 1 minute? Yeah, just 1 minute. Okay, we'll bring him up. How are you, mate?
Hey, Robbo, how's it going, man?
Good, thanks, mate. How are you?
Hi, Allison.
Hi.
Hi, how you going?
Hi, care worker person.
How you going?
I just wanted to pop up and just say much love. That's all I wanted to do. I'm not exactly sure, Robbo, where I got you from. What part of the world are you in? Maybe
you probably got me. Lincoln Kane.
That would be it. If you're, that would be the one. If that's the first name you throw out, that would be where I got you.
Yeah.
I've popped in a couple times. I know you're closing, so I'm not going to make this long-winded. I got to go to bed myself. It's 3 a.m. here, so.
All right.
But I just heard you talking, and I adore your care worker. Just for even being on stream and just being cool with. I've been listening for the last 10 minutes or so. Maybe 15. I don't know how long. But I've watched you a couple times, and much love to you, to you, and to you, Robbo.
Oh, thank you.
You come on here, from the cam up. You didn't have to come portraying as the disabled vlogger or anything. You could just be pulling off anything you wanted, and you're
absolutely.
You're rocking it.
Thanks,
so I just wanted to come up and say hi personally. I've watched you. I've watched a couple streams. I've had you for a week or maybe 2 weeks. I don't know how long I've had you, but I've popped up a couple times and I've seen you live. And I come in. You've always got a killer conversation going on, and just keep being you, buddy.
Thanks, mate.
And your care worker, for your care worker to come up here, we've dealt with.
I'm very new to this, so I'm learning very quickly. But no, it's great.
You're rocking it. You're rocking
it. It's great. I'm impressed. So
me and my wife, we've dealt. Our parents, had care workers that were coming in, and very unpersonable, very I guess unpersonable is probably the best way to put it.
That's terrible.
You know what? They're nice enough, in person, but they're not going to go above and beyond or anything like that.
Oh, no, that's nonsense. No, you got to get involved. You've got to build up a relationship. You've got to. No,
well, that's exactly it, and I love that, and I've like I said, I've watched him for a week or two. I don't know how long exactly, but I've seen you live. I come in, hung out, had other things going on though, so I've never chatted in chat. That's why I wanted to just real quick pop in and just say much loves to you. You're. I don't even know what your disabilities are. I don't know. I haven't. And I'm going to be popping in more and just, get to learn, a little bit more about you. But, everything I've seen from you being live, you're very, you're super cool. I mean, you're actually a nice guy. And I get it. You got people like this helping you out,
No, don't give me any credit. It's all Rob.
All right, no more credit for you then. You're done. No more credit for you. But you get a lot of credit. I'm just
no, thanks.
Thanks, mate.
All All right. So I know you're closing out. Just wanted to come up. Much love, like I said,
No,
and
that's
I'll go ahead and I'll head out of here now. But just wanted to come up and say hi, introduce myself. I'm in Victoria, BC, Canada.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
That's where we
cool.
are, and you know, much loves to Lincoln Kane as well, and
Yeah.
Shani, you know, his woman,
Yeah.
you know, and all the work they do for all the animals over there. But yeah, the fact that you said Lincoln Kane first, that tells me that's exactly where I found you. He probably dropped your link, and that's.
Yeah.
We are one of those people that drop, you know, if somebody drops a link, go support this person. We do.
Yeah, it's so good.
Whether we turn the bell and notifications on, not necessarily. I'll be honest. I'm one of those guys. But if somebody wants a sub, you know, somebody says, you know, if somebody I trust, you know, says, hey, go drop this person a sub, you know, give them another, you know, hook them up with another sub. I go sub, and I don't drop it. You know, it's not like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. You know,
it's
like, go sub this guy up. He's really great. It's like, all right, I'm going to go sub him up, and I'm going to leave him subbed, and I'll see when you're live. And I love how much you go live. You know, good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Keep doing you. Keep doing it.
6 nights a week.
Wow.
6 nights a week. That's probably why I keep seeing you.
That's it.
Allison, where are you from?
I'm from Australia as well.
Australia as well. Nice.
South Coast. Yeah.
Did you say South Perth?
South Coast of New South Wales. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, much love.
About an hour and a half from me.
Let them go to bed.
I'm going to let you go to bed. Yes, my wife said let them go to bed. But I'm thanks for bringing me up for 1 minute. Turned into 5.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all good.
It was a good 5 minutes.
Here's
He does not understand 1 minute. Just hi, everybody.
All right. Hey, you, Mrs. Care Worker, you're awesome. Keep being you.
Thank you very much.
All right. We're out.
Hey.
Yes.
All right, guys. Take care. Much loves. I'll pop back in another time.
Sounds good.
Beautiful.
Right.
Thanks,
Awesome.
How good was that?
Yeah, that's a good way to finish the live stream.
Yes, that was fantastic.
Yeah. All right.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you to everyone who joined us tonight for tonight's special. Thank you to Allison for coming in and helping me to talk about spina bifida and just disability in general. We will be back from 8 p.m. Sydney time tomorrow night, and you know what we're talking about tomorrow night. So I know a lot of you. I know a lot of you are excited about it. So that's when you'll see me next. Catch us in the next one.
See you guys. Nice to meet you.
Bye for now.
Yes.
Bye.